Hey YouTube, in this video I'm going to be doing a deck profile on my newly updated Giraffa deck. So those who have been watching my channel for a long time now, even back when I still used to post Yu-Gi-Oh! Back when I first started Cardfight Vanguard, they would know that the first megacolony deck that I built was the Giraffa Ride Chain deck. So never got rid of that guy, still have that guy, as you'll see here. So I went about how should I update this deck. So what I ended up doing was and I think this might be a good way to build the deck. I fused him together with Darkface or the GB2. So Evil Armor General Giraffa, he's very different from other Mega Colony decks in that instead of him stunning them, stunning rear guards and stunning vanguards, usually they mostly stun rear guards. Some of them they do stun vanguards. So rather than focusing on that, he actually retires the opponent's grade 1 or less rear guard. So he blows up their back row, similar to Seal Dragons. But unlike Seal Dragons, he doesn't replace their stuff. So the only bad thing is he does have to hit to do that. So he's in here not so much for his own effect, but more so that he gives you access so you can play the new Stride unit from the Fighters collection. So, for Giraffa, for Evil Armor General Giraffa, he is here as the backup to the main Vanguard, which is still the 4 Intimidating Mutant Darkface. So both of them look like they could be like cousins or something. So the only thing is, so basically the way I built the deck is if you do end up going all the way into Giraffa as the Vanguard, that does give you access to the Stride unit, because Giraffa will be in the heart. If you do not ride Giraffa, if you end up riding Darkface, it's not the end of the world. The only difference is now, instead of using him, you'll just play the standard style with the standard style units with his main Stride unit. So still pretty decent Mega Colony deck. It's a pretty fun Mega Colony deck. It's not so heavily focused on stunning the opponent's Vanguard, so obviously that's gonna hurt its competitive play style or its viability in a tournament scene. But it's still a fun Mega Colony deck, and it's one that most people won't shy away from playing against, because a lot of people don't like to play against machinings. Because they just feel like it's unfair, but I do agree somewhat, but I also feel that it's kind of dumb playing against decks like Cat Butler and Laurel, so it just really depends. So 4 of those guys. For the grade 2s, I am still running the 4 Charming Mutant, because she is the Amber clone for Mega Colony, and because the deck is still potentially half of your games you will be riding Darkface, you can still be using this. It'll still be a Stride focused deck, and even Giraffa's Stride focused now because of his main final form, his grade 4 form. So she's still a pretty good card in here. And then 4 Buster Mantis, because he's just really good. When he attacks, all your opponent's Vanguards and rear guards are at rest. If they are, he gets 3k. So he's your 12k usually on GB1. And then the only other grade 2 is, of course, the Elite Mutant Giraffa. So the only reason why I'm running 3 of this instead of 2, because really you only need 2, assuming you get the Ride Chain. I am running the 3 because of the new support card that they got, which is a grade 1. Which is kind of like Ripples, where you do kind of want to have Giraffa cards. For grade 1s, I am running 4 of the Rebel Mutant Star Shield, so the perfect card that unflips, because Giraffa does use Counterblast too. The On-Stride uses Counterblast. I mean, Stride focused decks, this thing is the more optimal perfect card. And then 3 New Face Mutant, so this is the Stride fodder. 3 down from 4, just to make room for the new card. And then I am running the 4 Pupil Mutant Giraffa, because I am running the Giraffa starter. So this just helps you ensure that you get your Elite Mutant, so you know that you'll be on 10k for your second ride. That's why with this type of old ride chain, with the 6K ride chain, 6K grade 1, you only need 2 copies of this, but 3 because I don't really need to run anything else. And then 3 of the new Elite Mutant Trigal. So he is in here, so I had to make room, so I had to take out one of the stride fodder for this guy. So what he does is at the beginning of your opponent's ride phase, if the opponent has a unit that is rested, it just has to be a unit that's rested. So it could be the Vanguard, it could be any rear guard. Look at 5 cards at the top of the deck. Search up to 1 card with Giraffa in the name. Reveal to the opponent, put in your hand. So he does sort of help fix the ride chain. Or potentially, what I see him more used as is for searching out copies of Giraffa just for the stride fodder. Now, the thing about Giraffa's effect is you will have to retire 2 of your megacolony rear guards to retire 2 of their grade 1 or less, which is kind of not so great, and it's also counterblast 2. So that's why I say that he's in here not so much for his effect, it's more so you can use this to search out him for stride fodder. Even if you're sitting on dark face, you can use this guy to search for Giraffa cards for like stride fodder and just extra rear guards or whatever. So this guy being the 12K, it's not that big of a deal running this guy at 4 copies, even if you're playing on dark face that game. So that doesn't fail even if you are in a weird matchup like that or a weird situation. So 3 of this, because 3 is really, honestly, it's enough. You do want to run your stride fodders. Not all the games will be focused on the Giraffa stuff, so you'll be having to play dark face a lot. And then for the trigger lineup, it's the 4 stands, Earth Dreamer. It's a pretty good stand in here. And then 8 critical and 4 heal. And the Giraffa starter for the ride chain, the Larva Mutant Giraffa. So, not anything special for that lineup. For the stride deck, I still only have 2 of this guy. Just want to point that out. Really, ideally, you want to run 3 of this. If you want to run the deck more optimal, you do really kind of want to run 3 of this, because the nice thing about Stun Beetle is he doesn't have to pay his cost until he hits, and if he hits, they cannot normal ride during their next stand phase, and they can't stand their Vanguard. So it's pretty devastating. They'll almost always try to block this. That's the reason why 3 is like the best number. So this should actually be 3 of this, and then 3 Evil Mutant Armor Deity Goliath. So this is in here to get the Giraffa plays. I may drop this to 2, just because sometimes I won't be able to use it. Like I said, if I'm sitting on him, then this is just dead space in the stride deck. So I feel like you don't really need more than 2 of this card. So I feel like 3 and 3 is okay, but 3 and 2 might be more optimal. And then I am running 2 Paraspear, because Paraspear is surprisingly good. He doesn't have to hit or do anything. He doesn't even have to attack. All he has to do is when he's placed on V, he rests all the opponent's units. Then if the number of units that the opponent has rested is 3 or more, you get to draw a card, and he gets 5k. So he's actually a very good budget stride unit for the megacolony. So I would probably say run 2 of this. You can run a Jaggy Devil, or maybe even 2 Jaggy Devil, or just 1 Jaggy Devil, and maybe even like 3 of this, and then 3 Darkface, or I mean Stun Beetle, or 4 Stun Beetle, 2 of that, and 2 of this. So Jaggy Devil, he's okay. What he does, though, I was wondering, he has to hit a Vanguard, then he can choose a rear guard in the opponent's front row and back row, and they can't stand. So he can stun like potentially a front row interceptor, or he can something in the back. But he has to hit to do that. So I feel like 1 of him is okay. It's pretty decent, but you don't really need more than 1. So anyway, guys, that was my updated megacolony Giraffa focus deck. So let me know what you think of the idea of combining Giraffa with Darkface as a backup grade 3. I think most people are probably going to run Cyclomatooth. I mean, that's what I was running before, because it has the potential to stun the Vanguard for free, or potentially for just break riding. But yeah, let me know if Giraffa with Cyclone Tooth would be better, or what else would be good with Giraffa? Giraffa plus what? Basically what I'm asking. So, hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks.